so glad to see you. I missed you. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I really went off the grid, and it's not necessarily easy because I love being here with you guys. And sometimes I have to guard against that because part of me gets so excited to be here with you guys that parts of my own private life get separated. And I'm learning that lesson slowly but surely as I try to find balance. And I did miss getting some of the tiny videos out also this weekend, and I miss doing those also. So, those of you who checked in on me and who sent me loving messages about Bella, and I can happily report that my dog Bella is in much better health this week. It's nothing short of miraculous in my book. And so, on that note, I want to welcome you to today's reading. As you know, I have started offering free readings to my followers because you guys have been so fun for me and a huge part of my quick growth on the channel. And I want to make it possible for you guys to get your direct questions answered. So, Mark, who lives in the UK, is today's winner. Mark sent me a question. Here's my email address. And his question was a deep one. I had to give it some thought because it's true that when you have life changes that make you look at your life differently, you are facing issues that challenged you to the core, and you have made a transition in your thinking. This happens to a lot of people midlife where they suddenly realize that what they're doing is not satisfying and they go on a search. Sometimes it's a tragedy that makes this happen. Sometimes it's a move to a different part of the world that shakes your world so badly you need to figure out what to do next. But what you do know is one thing: you don't want to work at something that you don't enjoy. You want to find fulfilling work, soul satisfying work that pays well. Can I hear an amen from the choir out there? Can any of y'all relate to that? Why can't we find good paying work with something that we really enjoy? So, Mark's question kind of had something to do with that. He told me about his situation and how he's made some major changes and transitions. His relationship with God has absolutely skyrocketed, and he is thrilled with that. But he also needs to create some sort of revenue, and he also wants to use his spiritual gifts on the planet to make a difference. And there's so many people that follow my readings that are in that same boat. So, Mark, thank you so much. I appreciate your bringing this to us today on this Monday. And that's what we're going to cover. We're going to have three piles to pick from. And then, Mark, your reading will follow the third pile, and I'll draw cards personally for you. Anybody else that would like to play along and get a free reading, I would love to do that. It helps me create readings and themes that are true to you guys' heart. So let me just light up our Palo Santo. And once again, you guys all lift Mark up if you're here. Mark's really looking for direction. And you know that life so often shows up when you're in the exact right place at the exact right time. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? So let's all together today, I'll just light. Now, notice how shy that is. It doesn't want to light. So I'm going to be, let's all pretend we can see smoke. Okay, you guys, play along with me. A lot of times when the Palo Santo won't light, oh, I do see some smoke coming. All right. See it? Yes. So this often indicates to me that there's some blockages going on for the person that's asking. Okay. So, Mark, it does look already that the universe is going to use this reading today to show you a tiny block, just like this tiny wisp of smoke that's holding you back from finding that answer you're looking for. Okay. So now today I am using these wonderful energy oracle cards for our pick a card. Please hit the thumbs up so that YouTube pays attention and brings more people who need to get this bit of wisdom about bringing our spiritual gifts to the planet and getting paid for it. Thank you so much. All right, so let's draw our three piles. Pile number 1, pile number 2. You know, I'm going to do it a little different this week. Pile number 3. And Mark, I'm going to draw your cards right now. And this is for Mark. And I'll just set it right over here. All right. Let's take a peek. Spirit and money. What do we have? Fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel is, of course, the Archangel of the arts. So it might be that you are a musician or an artist or a content provider. All of those things would fall under our wonderful Archangel Gabriel. That's pile 1. Pile 2, Goddess of the Moon. Goddess of the Moon. The moon is often a card associated with confusion. If you're feeling confusion, that might be yours pile. And our third pile, Angel of Love. Okay, wonderful. Remember, our consideration today is the blending of using our spiritual gifts and creating revenue. Our 2 piles, we have Archangel Gabriel, we have Goddess of the Moon, we have Angel of Love. All right, so make your selection, please. Por favor. And Mark, I'm going to put you at the bottom of the pile here we have. Okay. Notice the instruments. A dear mentor of mine recently confessed to something. He did it on his YouTube channel, but he told everyone that he has purchased 4 saxophones over his lifetime, and he hasn't learned how to play any of them yet. This card completely follows through with that energy. Personally, I have a canvas that I've been painting. It's not changed in a year. And I'm confessing that to you because part of what I'm learning is how to mix my spiritual gifts or energy gifts, my gifts here to be able to read these stories for you. And then also I do tapping so that when I'm doing tapping, I'm operating in my gift, which is great. In fact, taking weekends off is not easy for me because I'd rather read cards than anything. However, working 7 days a week doesn't do anybody any good. So, pile 1, welcome. This is your call to see what it is, what part of you is not being accessed that you've been wanting to access. All right. What does this have to do with getting your spiritual gift out onto the planet? It has everything to do with it. Did you ever hear that phrase, life work balance? Does hearing that phrase make you cringe? Then welcome, pile 1. You're in the right place. So now I've picked for our guidance today one of my very favorite decks because we need wisdom, don't we? If we are going to bring our spiritual gifts onto the planet, the one thing that you're going to find out, my dear pile 1, is that getting started, you may need to have some employment that is not your favorite. I remember one famous philosopher that I love, happens to be my son. He said to me once, Mom, you just don't get it. Every job sucks. You just have to find one that sucks the least. He's I never heard truer words spoken because when you're in between or when you really want to create, for example, if you wanted to have a tarot reading practice or a massage practice or you want to start a healing center, you want to work with pets and create holistic pet products, whatever it is. While it's in the dream state, you still need to buy food and rent. Okay, so sometimes when you start to use your creativity, your mind and your brain will relax enough that you will find brilliant ideas. All right, so pile 1, this is definitely a call for you to reach into your creativity and things that are not for sale, things that you can simply enjoy. Doodling and coloring books are a great place to start. So let's get our wisdom pile 1. First card, second card, and our third card. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. All righty. Hmm. Okay, this is really nice. These are very powerful cards we have here. Okay. So there's this promise of Archangel Raphael's help. Wonderful. Put your hand on your heart and just accept that. Archangel's energy is here for you. Pile one. Archangel Michael can, or excuse me, ooh, misspeak. Archangel Raphael sees the cost of the stress internally with you going back and forth with different opinions. Your fear of displeasing others is causing you to doubt yourself, pile one. And I don't blame you. One, two, three, four. You may be in your 50s. You may have gone through each decade, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. You may be entering into a new era, and you've seen these manifestations of your life that have come and gone through these years, right? And your memories of your failures are holding you back. There's a man online, dearly love him, Brad Yates. He's the one that talked about the saxophone. He does tapping and he's brilliant. I do tapping also. In fact, he and I worked together many, many years ago, and I trust him completely. His work on money is spectacular, and he's a very spiritual man. So I would highly recommend pile one that you run, don't walk. On my community page, you guys, I post all of my own mentors, all of the people that have helped me keep my peace of mind. And especially this last week when my dog was sick and I needed my tools like never before. It was no time for me to be wobbling between my doubts. And you are in that same place. Something very important is happening, and you must remember to let your past stay in the past, period. You are a brand new person, and the future's wide open for you, pile one. So, how do I know this? Because of the Queen of Wands. I love her so much. Brilliant, talented, independent, controlling only when necessary. There is nothing you can't do. Believe in yourself. Never underestimate your ability to make your dreams come true. The need for balance between career and personal life. What have I been saying? Right? And when the cards are so faithful like that and they jump, pile one, it's up to you. I got goosebumps running up and down my arms right now. I can't go to Brad's house and knock on his door and say, "Have you played your saxophone today?" I can't go to my own door and say, "Okay, Catherine, how much painting did you do today?" I have to draw on my own strength and my own sense of what it is I want. So, pile one, if you want to use your spiritual work and create money, use it on yourself first. What are you stalling on creatively? Use your stuff on yourself first. Then you'll be so much more credible when you go out into the world and offer it. Right? Here you are, pile one. Come on. I always say, I'm trying to work on not saying come on so much. Self editing, but I can't help myself. This is such a wonderful promise. These two are like power couple, right? So the angels are calling you sincerely. Pile one, whatever it is that's your spiritual work, yes, very likely you're going to have revenue. But right now you have some work to do. I'm going to put tools, as I always do, right in the first comment with the timestamps. These are concrete tools that you can use right now and change your energy around this. You're growing. Don't rush. Yes, use your spiritual gifts. Go to meetups, go to meetings, practice, enjoy your skill. Then pick up some work that you can just enjoy the people working there. You don't have to make a gazillion dollars at a place of employment, but if you keep working on your gift while you're creating small streams of revenue for yourself, you will be guided. All right. So, gosh, I feel like a cheerleader and I want to grab my oracle deck for a little blessing for you. Okay. So let me grab my cards. Oh, here they are. These are lately my favorite oracle here. I just love these cards. Avalon Magic. Let's see what we have. Pile one. I'm excited, pile one. I want to be pile one today. I might choose all of them for me. If any of you would like to have private reading, all you have to do is email me with your question. Today, Mark brought this to the table. And Mark, I really thank you for that because I do attract a lot of people who want to be involved in spiritual work. Thank you for this theme. Okay, so I can't help but see this woman with a crown on. Let's just draw her out. I can see, I love this beautiful card. Let's see what your blessing is today, pile one. Be enchanted with your life's potential. Seek and find, know and discover. Investigate where your energy is feeling blocked. I'm going to put resources right into the comments box. In the community, you can go right now and you can see people in my community that I rely on. These are tools that I use every day. They're all there in the community section. All right, let's move on to pile two. If you can resonate with this, be sure to add a comment. Let me know how they touched you, okay? All right, pile two. So, the very first thing that I noticed about this card was the number 52. 52 is a significant number for me. There used to be a Highway 52 near where I lived, and also it's the year I was born, 1952. And the fact that I'm still here and doing this, having the time of my life. Pile two, I feel like this is a call for those of you who may feel it's just too late. If you were going to make a splash, the splash would have happened already. All right. If this is you, hit the thumbs up. Let's show people that you're here. You complete a loop when you hit that thumbs up. As our energies are complete, it's as if you're saying yes, please, to this reading. It's a good habit to get into not only for my site, but every tarot reader you read. Hit the thumbs up and help them find the people that can learn the best. All right, Goddess of the Moon. I just did a meditation personally. There was a full moon, and I've never done that before. I had a beautiful, I did put it in the community. You can see its meditation channel, and it was 10-minute meditation. It was wonderful under the energy of the full moon. So I feel like pile two, what I'm seeing for you is that you're starting to be less intimidated by uncertainty. Less intimidated by uncertainty. Let's see what we have here. Yes, you've been working so hard to hold your own faith up, right? Pile two, you understand that what it is you do on the energetic level, your spiritual or energetic work, is absolutely everything you want to do. There's no house here, there's no cars, there's no hotels or restaurants. You are just loving your work. However, there's a part of you that is tired like this. It's a part of that you're not in touch with. Okay, how do I know this? Because your exhaustion level, pile two, I can feel it. I really can. The good news is it's coming to an end. There may be a situation where I'm sensing an opportunity or a collaboration. There's somebody who's been watching you and they're seeing the struggle, but nobody else sees it because this is what you project. You project this confidence. Sure, there's a little doubt, but you are so sure of your energy work and what you do, pile two, that in gender doesn't matter here, male, female, however you identify. But there's something about how you are going about your presentation of yourself right now. What's that word? It's a little bit inconsistent because you're projecting this, but there's so much doubt that you're not aware of, like under the surface. It's draining you. Okay, pile two. So here's what we need next. Wise counselor. Yes. Have you ever thought of having a mentor, pile two? Have you ever thought of approaching someone who's a professional at what you love to do and asking some advice? It's a little bit different from coaching in this venue because it seems to me that You might be spinning your wheels. Do you know what the Pareto principle is, pile two? That's where it says 80% of your results are coming from 20% of your efforts. Let me say that again. 80% of your results comes from 20% of your effort. No wonder she has a headache. Oh, I always forget to say, why is this figure here? This figure represents you when you are at your a weak point. It's when your personality is kind of beating you up and telling you you're not good enough. And then this figure represents your inner being. This figure represents the part of you that is connected to the divine. Many people believe that inner being is the divine, but this is where your soft place is to fall. This is what she needs. Right now, she's been depending on her skills. Her whole security is in her skills, right? And not in her inner being. So honestly, I feel pile two. If you were drawn to this pile, I feel like your skills are highly developed and you're on the cusp of a major upgrade toward your spiritual business. You do need this wise counselor. Unity with a spiritually minded community. Ask the divine for help and trust the answers will come. Compare traditional methods with new ideas to see which is best for you. A mentor could ask you the questions that will get you to think about things differently. A private reading would be ideal. Imagine having 15 to 20, 30 cards pulled on your behalf to really dig in and find out what is being wasted here. Why are you putting way too much effort in? If you're only getting, if you're only using 20% of juice to get 80% of your results, why are you putting 100% effort in? Why are you putting 24 hours a day in? That means 80% of it could be used doing something else. Okay. If you want to advance this reading for yourself, pile two, listen to pile one, because pile one's all about work life balance. Okay, so this is your final card then, and we have the beautiful Queen of Cups. How opposite does this look? Which card do you prefer? This dream of yours is absolutely golden. When you're able to project this energy clearly, that you no longer doubt you don't need certainty. All you need is to believe in the possibility of it. Thank you, Dr. Joe Dispenza. What's coming for you next, my dear pile two, is the evening out, the smoothing out of your doubts and fears. Make sure to take a look at the money machine. I'm going to add it in the comments below. It's just a detachment tool that I use myself and I give to my clients. And I want you to see it because you just need to keep trusting that as you release your old story about money and about what has harmed you with money, you're going to stop radiating this. People see you are more tired than you want to see yourself. And that's just a symptom that can be easily solved. Do you like to tap? Are you a yoga person? Is there any personal care that you are stalling on? This is your call. It's your career, it's your spiritual work. Do you want it or not? This is what's ahead for you. Loving, compassionate, psychic, self sacrificing, deep psychic insights. And here's the one that can get you: caring for others, but forgetting to take care of yourself. You do need to let your clients have their own pain, right, pile two? You can't carry it for them. You have to take care of yourself first. Trust your deepest intuition. You are going to be developing a depth of relationships that you haven't had up until now. Follow your heart. All right. Pile two is such a beautiful reading for you. My goodness. Again, please do write to me. My email address is right there. If you have any personal questions about these readings, write to me. I would love to talk to you through an email, and I can do a private reading for you. I mean, right here, I can draw cards for you. So let me get my Avalon deck. For those of you who just joined me, I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot, and I'm here to talk about blending our energy around money and spirit. And this is our oracle deck today for your blessing. Okay, pile two. I'll stand with you. It's been hard for me to deal with my frailties, the parts of my personality that I'm not very proud of. It's always been, a challenge because I can get a little bossy, and my friends would say, my ex would say, and I'm always trying to soften my sharp edges, being a Scorpio. Okay, let's get your blessing power too. My dear pile two, power two. My dear pile two, please write to me and let me know what's your spiritual work. I'm so curious about you today. All right, let's take a look here at your blessing. And we have be attuned to the rhythm and cycles of your life and notice the shifts and changes. Peace comes from the sacred union of nature and spirit. Yes. As you get closer to letting go of how hard you're working and taking more time for yourself, you're going to settle into an irresistible energy. Highly recommend you take a look at pile one because that was really a good one for work-life balance. Okay, let's move on to pile three. Pile three, angel of love. So, are you a matchmaker? Are you a matchmaker, pile three? Are you are you a dating coach? Are you somebody looking for their partner and you just saw the angel of love and you jumped in there? This is a reading for those of you who really want to help people understand how to feel loved. You may be a counselor, a therapist, a social worker, you might be a nurse, you might be a hospice worker, but in your work, you are highly undervalued. I got just goosebumps just flooding all over my body. This might be a nurse or a doctor. This, oh gosh, who says that spiritual workers are just have to be yoga teachers and life coaches? I mean, that's ridiculous. If you are up in the middle of the night because you have a flood in your house and you need to call a plumber and that plumber shows up, he's spiritually gifted, duh. He's energetically prepared and he won't panic at fixing a leak. Every profession is a spiritual profession. Let's just put that on the table. When you're doing something that you're called to do, you are in the best situation for pulling together spirit and money. Okay. So I'm just sensing that pile three, these are folks that do work in conventional professions. And honestly, right now I'm very close. I am hospice trained, and in my neighborhood, we recently had someone pass away, and the hospice care. I mean, those beautiful people that work so hard at that, and they don't get paid anywhere near what other professions are paid. And I'm just seeing that little tiny pearl that's glimmering in that heart, that tiny, tiny pearl. And I think that in your work, pile three, there's a lot of honor in not being wealthy. I'm just getting that sense of honor in being unwealthy. And unwealthy is different from poor. Unwealthy is just choosing not to focus on money. Unwealthy works for some people. They're very content being unwealthy. However, in the spiritual areas, you can be an underachiever because maybe you're not charging enough for what you're needing. Okay, so I feel like pile three, the universe is calling you, the divine is calling you to enhance your belief around what's possible with money. Okay, your ability to bring love to people that are in such need is indescribable. The gentleness that you have when you do your service, but the pay is that big, isn't it? It doesn't match. And so, for that reason, these cards are going to come forward to you today, pile three, to give you the strength to believe in yourself enough to start changing that. Okay. Oh, this is fascinating. I know so many people that are in very low end medical professions, so they're the service people who are sweeping the floors or, doing the tasks within the medical facilities that are very, very unwealthy and their lives are not a blessing. But yet, what can we do to enhance our belief that we can change our experience with money if we are in a place where it's simply not there for us? Okay. So I'm just going to pull all three of our cards for us, pile three. Let's take a peek. And thank you, thank you, thank you for all you do to support people. Okay, wonderful. All right. So what we're seeing here, well, let's just pull all of them first. Oh, yay. Okay, pile three, you are in for a surprise. Okay. I believe with all my heart that when you start to see yourself as capable, when you start to see yourself as worthy of being paid higher. There's a woman, her name is Jessica Heslop. Jessica Heslop, Heslop. Her material on love, excuse me, on money is really spectacular. I was she just did a 7-day class, and in that 7-day class, she touched some needs in me. Plus, my dog was going through very much of a health crisis, and I was able to be live with her in this 7-day class on manifesting money. It was so enheartening to be with a community of people who believe in manifesting. At the same time, I was curious about how this fits, just what I'm talking about today. And by timing, I was in the right place at the right time. And that has to be um, monetized for you in some way. That when you are in the right place at the right time, that there's a magnetism to getting you paid more. I can't fix that for you because I'm not that. I don't teach about how to have more money. I teach about the energy that could be blocking you. And I am happy to hand you off to beautiful Jessica. She's got brand new programs for money right now. And she is not giving me anything for this testimonial. I'm just telling you, I'm not sure that my dog would be here with me this week if I didn't have her material and the support of her community. And it's just out of 100% gratitude that I speak these words because she's that angel for me. I want that for you, pile three, sincerely. So it takes courage to create a brand new image, a brand new idea, a brand new belief that you could get paid more for doing what you love. But this card shows that you're willing to learn, learning all you can about a subject or career, going back to school, taking a seminar, finding a mentor. And we mentioned mentors in pile two. So if you need a mentor, I talked about that a little bit in pile two. Attention to detail, skilled work that you love. This is you, pile three. You love it. Now, as an example, I have a client who is a LVN, um, and it's a licensed vocational nurse, I think. Gosh, I don't know. But she wants to be a RN, registered nurse. Her pay would probably double or more if she got that training, okay? If whatever profession you're in, realize there has to be a brand new start for you. An opportunity will come because of your love of the work, but you can take action right now to brush up on your skills. All right. Take the bull by the horns here, would you? And do this for yourself. I know you love what you do. I know you could probably teach 1,000 classes on it. But believe me, if you can find an angle where you can brush up on a skill, you're going to change how people see you at your profession. But it all starts here. You have to believe it. And here we have our final card for you, pile three. I love this card for you. This makes me so happy, honest to goodness. Forgive my emotion. Man, thank you for your patience. The truth is, the planet needs you. The planet needs you. But it can't, it's not your boss's fault. It's not your school's fault. It's not anybody's fault. It's just for some reason we have a belief system that we're not worth it. Brad Yates he's doing a tapping into money special right now. So Brad Yates, Yates. If you want to tap into abundance, you can't go wrong with Brad, okay? Because what's happening for you is planning for the long term, abundance from past choices, pride in the success of your labors. Be patient as you decide what's next. What's happening now is like you're in a cocoon, right? And it's squeezing and it's hard and there's not enough, but your skill set cannot be denied. It takes humility to get more training at this point for you. I mean, you might be in your 60s or 70s and you think, I'm not getting trained on nothing. I know enough, but I'm telling you, everything's changing. And a little brush up on some skills can really change your energy here. The angels, all of us, are standing so much in support. And once again, I want to point out with my figurine, when you're feeling nervous, doubtful, and afraid, it's your personality. Your personality cares about all that stuff. Your inner being, the greater part of you, the part of you that's hooked into the divine, the part of you that's making tears fall off my face right now, has so much love for you. And this precious tiny income you have right now is nothing compared to what you could have. But you have to start off inside. All right? So let me grab my oracle deck. Ah, I miss you guys when I'm not here. I'm here Monday through Friday in the morning, so please come back and join me. Avalon Magic is our blessing card. And Mark, I suspect you've been watching all the way along. I suspect, and I suspect that each one of these messages has been special for you. So if you are getting a blessing out of this reading, hit the thumbs up. You guys have no idea how much that helps my channel. And as I take time off the grid and I take time away from making videos, and then your thumbs up show me the themes that you like. What would you like me to repeat? And also, be sure to send me an email with your question, and I will do a theme based on your question and then follow up with a reading for our winner, which this week is Mark. Okay, let's see. I'm going to close my eyes and pick. Okay. Ooh, nice. Ooh, I mean, look at the difference here. Oh, this is just a beautiful final card for you, my dear pile three, because here we have this itty bitty speck of income that comes with all that you do, right? And then your blessing card is a filled cup just glowing. Your patients, clients, customers love you. They love you. What you offer as you're doing your work is received as if it's precious gold. So it's about time everything turns around and you get to sip some of that gold. Okay, let's take a peek. Heal through changing your story. Begin in this moment and don't look back. 100%. I'm going to add in the comments below where the timestamps are. There's something that I call the solution, and it is the solution because it will help you start to tell a new story. And that's going to be super important for you, okay? So, pile three, thank you so much. We dove deep in that one. If your heart has been touched, please feel free to email me. I would love to know how this reading is touching you. Also, if anybody would like a reading, a private reading with me, I would love to do that. I love the cards. I love the stories that get told. And the information is in the description box, but also you can email me at tarotinfo.com. I not only can answer your question here personally in a reading, but if you want privacy, we can do that also. Another thing is if you want to ask me a question and then you want it to be anonymous so that I would not mention your name during the free reading part at the end, all you have to do is let me know and I'm happy to hold your name privately. Mark, we are here for you today. First of all, thank you so much. I always know that if I get emotional during the readings and my voice leaves and tears replace, um, I know I'm in the right place doing the right thing. And so, Mark, we just all embrace you. We wish you nothing but the best in your next steps on your journey. And let's see what your cards have for you. And Angel of Strength. That doesn't surprise me a bit, Mark. When you wrote to me, and Mark did not tell me much of anything, and I appreciate that. He didn't tell me what has been going on. He was just telling me the fact that that his life had had a turnaround. He didn't tell me the story of how he got there, but he told me that he has made a spiritual transition. And I believe that this is the angels confirming that for you, Mark, because they see now that you understand you have angels behind you, right? And your faith, whatever religion you practice, whoever are the heroes to you of that religion, you understand, don't you? Because you could not have turned your life around without divine intervention. So, Mark, this is exactly a beautiful symbol for you that when you became aware that your personality was getting you in trouble, to say the least, right? And you wanting to have your way, stamping your little foot around and having temper tantrums about life not working out didn't do you any good, did it, Mark? And then you turned around and you found something that worked. And now it's like you are this lion and you're aware that the divine has your back. There is nothing that could happen to change that. What's wrong with that? Nothing. But what do you do? How do you go forward? How do you pick what it is that you're wanting next? How do you get that direction? How do you connect to the money? That's a lot to ask, Mark, but let's see what the cards have for you. And thank you for asking the question. It's exciting to me here in Tennessee in the US and you over in the UK. And what a small world it really is. Okay, let's draw our cards. And thank you for all y'all who are watching along with Mark, peeking over the shoulder of a reader reading for somebody with a personal question. All right. Let's see, my friend. Oh, nice. Very nice. Okay, so first we have the beautiful Knight of Swords. And so right away, this card shows me a part of you is ready to act, that you are, there's almost like, how would you say it? Like, you know how a pot simmers on the stove and it's just not boiling over and it's just simmering away in there and steam is rising up and you smell that aroma. Okay, so I feel for you, Mark, that's exactly what's going on. You have done some work, and I think it may be even years, and certainly the last year. You've gotten really serious. You wanted to close off some things and you wanted to open some new doors. And in a way, you may be hibernating, like being cut off from certain things. And there's a part of you that wants to go. I love the red cape here. That's always the color of your root chakra, which is the family of origin energy. And I look at the red bird. It's almost as if you're being drawn, Mark, to something connected to your family of origin. You may know exactly what I'm talking about here, that your spiritual work or the energy work that you're gifted at may have gotten its roots in your childhood. All right. So that you are feeling like you're chasing that to use it as the energy for what you're going to do in the world. I know that's true for me because tapping, I've been tapping over 20 years. I've been reading cards about that same length, but I would say that this is more the inspirational part of my work. And then the tapping's like a mechanical process that absolutely takes away the mental um, protection that you've built in your life, which is your story. So if you keep telling the story of how it used to be, it may give you a feeling of going in circles. But if you tell the story with redemption, you know that word, where it's like redeems your childhood by saying, I accept the fact that my growing up years were volatile and painful. I accept that I was part of all that. And I don't want to blame them anymore for any of it. I want to go forward, period. This is really a great place to be in for you, Mark, because you have a lot of energy. So I would say it's feeling like you might be partly trying to escape that call on your life that your healing is going to be what you're going to be teaching people. And we have our beautiful, beautiful page of, what do we have here? The page of Pentacles. Okay, take a breath. I love this combination for you, Mark. I love it. What I'm seeing here is measured success. I see measured pace. I see measured excitement. And I see abundant fertility because of the rabbit there. So balance is everything. I'm assuming you watched the whole reading, Mark, but pile one is really about the work-life balance, and so important for someone who has just left a whole lot of bad habits behind, right? You've left a whole lot of bad habits behind, so you need to study up and replace some of your old practices with things that work for you. I have a feeling, Mark, that you ran off half cocked and you got yourself in a jam by making some quick decisions in the past, and you want to be done with that. This is your answer. Is strengthening your new practice. Is it yoga? Is it meditative prayer? What is it? Do you do intermittent fasting? What is it that's your practice that really helps you stick with your measured confidence? Okay. This part of you is in your blood. Okay, it's in your blood. Go! It reminds me of a thoroughbred at the racetrack. All you have to do is just touch it and it goes. And I appreciate that. But we need to temper it, right? We need to balance it so that you don't get out ahead of yourself. And your final card, 2 pages. Okay. Mark, there's no accident that you asked me for this reading. The pages are fresh starts. And I started to look at them. I think one of my mentors had said that the pages carry the same energy as the ace, because the ace through the 10 of the swords and the ace through the 10 of the pentacles is the closing of volume 1 and the opening of volume 2. And so, what it is a fresh chance to look at what's going on, both with your money and how that's all going to happen, and with your thoughts, and how the thinking process that you got here with failed you a few times. There were some what I call false premises, where you believe things and then later you find out, wait a minute, I didn't really believe that. That was my mom's belief. Or I never believed that. That was my church's belief. Or I never chose to believe that. That was my best friend in high school's belief. What are your beliefs, right? Be logical, be perceptive, Mark, insightful, and sometimes even blunt, because you need to cut off anything that's going to keep you from your mission, which is to be creatively using your gift to help humanity, right? An exciting intellectual challenge, brilliant insights, information that you need but might be challenging to receive. Review all your documents carefully. So I'm seeing here this idea of taking grasp of some further training in how you would create the business of that. Like if you want to use your spiritual gifts, what do you need? And you might say, well, I don't have any money, I can't do anything. I started this YouTube channel just a couple years ago. It's all free. I don't pay anything to use YouTube. And now I have so many followers, I can't believe it my own self. I just turned over 16,000. I'm like, how did that happen? And bless y'all for coming along with me. But Mark, don't let that stop you. You could probably create a YouTube channel or write a blog that is what you want to do. You offer it like I'm doing right here. I offer my gift for free. Of course I do, because I want y'all to experience it. Plus, it is so fun for me. It's better than Disneyland. But of course, I'm hoping that when you need a reading, you'll remember me. Okay. And that's the way you're going to want to be, Mark. If you're, let's say that you are a musician and that you want to bring your music to the planet, you're going to do plenty of giveaways on your way to finding your revenue. Okay, so let me grab my oracle deck for you, Mark. At the end of the day, you have this wonderful balance with these action, these figures, these court cards. There's um, notoriety. I love that word, notoriety. There's, you have charisma and you have drive. So you just have to accept at this point, there's some more learning you need to go through before you have the foundation to hold a ton of things, but there's definitely a get started energy here. Mark, be sure to email me with any questions you have about this reading. I'll be happy to clarify for you, okay? And those of you who would like me to draw your personal cards, I would love that. I think I have a waiting list of just a few people right now, so it may be a couple days before I do your reading, but just go ahead and write me a letter, an email, tell me what you want to ask, and I will be more than happy to reward your sharing the issue with all of us with a private, personal reading. Okay, not private, personal, I'm sorry. Okay, let's draw our blessing card for Mark. And thank you guys. So many of you have stayed along and watching over my shoulder for this personal reading for Mark. And I know Mark appreciates it. But, you know, I really believe that when we are joining our hearts and our minds, we are supporting each other. And here we have, oh, the cup showed up. This cup showed up in pile two. And so if you were drawn to pile two at all, I would definitely take a peek at that. I highly recommend when we knit these readings together. And let's see what your blessing is. Welcome the solitude. It's time to replenish your weary soul. So when at the end of the day, Mark, quiet is your peace. When you're feeling frazzled and flustered, Mark, find quiet. This is like doctor's orders. You do have a sensitive system, Mark, and sounds and lights may be hard for you to process physically. No kidding. Some people don't do well at all under fluorescent light, and it truly drains them. So I just feel like you may not be aware, Mark, of your environment, and you might get so exhausted that you don't have enough quiet. Okay. So I deeply hope that this reading resonated and answered your question, Mark. All of this, we all need to realize that we don't want to put ourselves into a special category if we do quote unquote spiritual work. Because, like I said, if you need a plumber in the middle of the night, it's like Saint Plumber, right? If you have a cook that prepares your meals for you, that's like Saint Cook. When we have people that serve us that are not spiritual people, but they're in their gift and their service to us is exactly what we need. That's the way to start looking at your spiritual work. You are providing something exactly when they need it. Most of the spiritual energy healers that I know or that I've worked with or that I watch on YouTube, I do put my very favorites into my community tab. So you guys can always follow my gurus. I mean, I couldn't do this if I didn't use the tools that I talk about. And so know that there are many people doing what you do. Go watch their YouTubes. That's how I started Minnow Pond Tarot. I started watching about 3 years ago, and I thought, if he can do it, I can do it. And sure enough, here I am. I mean, he's got a gazillion followers, and I'm not in his class. But look what happened when I started following my heart and doing the work that I'm called to do. All right. So I can't think of anything else to say here, except I think I would love to relight my Palo Santo to close the reading because it was so shy about setting fire when I first started. And often that shows that there's blocks that we're not aware of. And I put out the candle. Undaunted, I'm getting my lighter. I'm having Palo Santo, even though it's not wanting to cooperate. What is it that needs to get tossed aside for us? What can we give up? The energy of the full moon's right here. Who can we stop blaming? How can we release ourselves at a deep level and really get what it is we're needing to go to the next level to upgrade our spiritual work? I release this reading today. Thank you so much to Mark. Thank you for each and every one of you that's been here with me today. I miss you so much on the weekends, but I know I'm obeying my inner being's orders to rest and restore in the weekends. So I'm always excited on Mondays. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, my dear friends, and know you are abundantly loved here.